Now on CoastTV News.
A gathering for the birth of our government, what Georgetown did to celebrate Constitution Day.
It's National Voter Registration Day, how one local nonprofit is helping Delawareans get involved this election cycle.
The latest on the mystery of medical waste washing up on our coast and how long beachgoers will have to stay out of the water.
A bridge boost in Milford, a new warning system with an incredible name, aims to keep trucks from running into the giant structure.
And we have the warning of the threat of flooding in some areas as the rain, the torrential showers we've been talking about, have finally taken center stage.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
Waste watch, more beaches shut down as medical waste rises with the tide. Good evening, I'm Charlie Sakaitis.
And I'm Christina DiRobertis. Welcome to our News at 11. We begin tonight with some new information about the troubling trash surfacing along our coast.
Bethany Beach has joined the list of closures today as more waste washes ashore. Beaches from Assateague to Lewis have been shut down since Sunday, and while authorities still don't know where the waste came from, DenRec has issued a no swimming advisory for a week. We're told multiple states and the federal government all investigating, but beachgoers tell us they're just disappointed.
I feel sorry for people who are coming down for a vacation. It it shouldn't be happening. It shouldn't have happened.
Local governments encourage people to report any medical waste found on the beach to the local police station or DenRec. We have that number on our website right now. All of this brings us right into our CoastTV poll. We want to know what you think would prevent medical waste from ending up on our beaches. Let's take a look at the updated results from earlier this evening.
Well, so far, most of you say that harsher dumping penalties is the answer here. Whopping 82% of you are saying that answer. Only 3% saying some more cleanups might help and stricter regulations.
Now, if you haven't voted yet, easy to do this. You go to coasttv.com or use the CoastTV mobile app.
Let's take a live look now into Ocean City, and it's also worth noting that some beaches, including Ocean City and Rehoboth, have banned swimming not just due to the waste, but also because of rough surf conditions. So let's check in with First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams for a look at the weather. Good evening.
Good evening, Christina. And as you take a look at what's happening there, this is actually the dismal out of focus look of showers that we've been concerned with, possibly connected to a low pressure system trying to become a bit on the tropical side. Now we're seeing the influx of that heavy shower activity along with the threat of flooding. So temperatures are expected to stay in the 70s, and we're bracing for a chance of thunderstorms kicking in after the midnight hour. Now, I was running this model a moment ago, and there's a little small subtle detail here that's a bit of a breaking story here. You see, this is a look at the future waves that we're expecting from Bethany Beach down to Ocean City, down towards Chincoteague, and this is where we've been concentrating our story as it pertains to the medical debris brushing up on shore. Now, the yellow indicates possibly 8 to 10 feet, but as we go here, there's a timeline right there. You see this little touch of orange right here? That may look like just a little small thing, but right here to the south of Ocean Pines, this is where we're looking at possibly 10, going to 10 or possibly even 11 to 12 feet right here. This inundation that's likely to happen right around 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, possibly coinciding with the high tide in the morning time, and it stays and it hits a couple of times. So we're looking for another push that could happen. So if we get another influx of medical waste just to the south of Ocean Pines and Ocean City, that might be part of the genesis of that particular problem. We also have concerns for widespread scattered showers because we have flood advisories that are active and the rain has indeed arrived. We'll talk about this in more detail coming up, so please don't go anywhere. There's more to this weather story than we've shared. This is just the tip of the iceberg, Charlie.
Thank you, Paul. A celebration of our government and Constitution in Georgetown today.
CoastTV News reporter Brendan Conroy shows us how the town got together to show their appreciation for the red, white, and blue.
The bells ringing as Georgetown broke out their finest historically inspired threads to celebrate the anniversary of the signing of the Constitution. September 17th is Constitution Day. Alice Min has joined the celebration for the past several years and always dresses the part.
And it's important to tell the generations now and remind them of our constitutional rights and what the laws of the land are.
The gathering focused on the Constitution and its importance, along with the reading of our Bill of Rights and amendments and the singing of our country's most popular anthems. Kathy Gorman serenaded the crowd with her rendition.
By the dawn's early light.
It's important because I think everybody needs to refresh their memory as to the Constitution and what governs our country.
The mayor was also in attendance to join this special day. He says he loves the joy people get from the community coming together to celebrate our great nation.
It's an honor to provide a space for these people to come and ring the bells every year in honor of this day. When you can have people involved in this and coming out of here and smiling and telling everybody to have a good day, it means we've done something right for the country. And that's what it's all about.
A simple piece of paper signed by aspiring patriots 237 years ago. That remains to this day one of the most important documents in American history.
The gathering today brought people to Georgetown to celebrate their rights as Americans, be reminded of the Constitution, and ring their bells. In Georgetown, Brendan Conroy, CoastTV News.
Well, in addition to Constitution Day, it's also National Voter Registration Day, and this afternoon, La Esperanza in Georgetown, in partnership with the Delaware Hispanic Commission, hosted an event to provide information on voter registration and help people to register. La Esperanza is a multi-service nonprofit organization dedicated to assisting Latino and immigrant communities in Sussex County. And during the event, they were able to help almost 40 people with their registration process.
We invited new citizens to come here today to be with us. We invited others to come. If they were interested in registering to vote, we would help them to figure out how to do it and also to participate in democracy. So we're very excited.
And if you want to vote in the November 5th election, you have until October 12th to register. Visit our website, coasttv.com/decision2024 to learn more about the requirements. Well, tonight we know the charges music mogul Sean Diddy Combs will face after his arrest overnight at a New York hotel.
Federal prosecutors unsealing the indictment that accuses Combs of running a sex ring for years, alleging women were drugged, abused, injured during parties that went on sometimes for days. Jay Gray has the latest.
Stern, solemn, Sean Diddy Combs stands before a judge pleading not guilty to charges of racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking. The music and business mogul denied bail and immediately taken into custody. His attorney promising to appeal that decision while again declaring Combs' innocence.
He's going to clear his name, and we're going to stand by his side as he does. We believe in him wholeheartedly. He didn't do these things.
The international star arrested overnight at a New York hotel. Prosecutors alleging Combs threatened and abused women for years, forcing them to participate in what they describe as extended sexual performances known as freak-offs.
The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant.
The charges come 6 months after law enforcement raids on Combs' homes in Miami and Los Angeles. Agents seizing guns, computers, cell phones, and video evidence. Combs also facing a wave of civil lawsuits from women who say they were victims of his abuse. Jay Gray, NBC News.
Well, Delaware's Office of Women's Advancement and Advocacy released its first comprehensive report on the status of women here in the first state. It highlights areas like health, economic security, education, and leadership, and some key findings where women make up 51% of the population and have made strides in business ownership and public office. But challenges do remain, including racial health care disparities, wage gaps, and high child care costs.
The Delaware Department of Transportation says a new warning system is coming to Milford on the Mispillion River Bridge. DelDOT calls the system, and this is perfect, clankers, as you see here, which will hang down before the bridge to audibly warn overheight trucks that they're not going to fit through the bridge. This comes after the historic bridge has been hit and an incredible 7 times in just the past several years, the last strike causing significant damage and a 6-month closure.
That it will help us to protect and preserve this bridge going forward and save not only the department a lot of time and money, but ultimately the drivers who are damaging vehicles and causing a whole host of other issues.
DelDOT says it hopes the system will be in place by the end of the year. Milton is planning on drafting an opinion on affordable housing, and yes, this is a topic that's been covered before. In the past, they have seen presentations on this issue, and Thursday, September 19th, they're going to draft an advisory opinion to see what they can do. This meeting will take place at 4 p.m. at Grace Church.
The city of Lewis is figuring out what to do with what remains of nearly $2 million in federal money awarded during the COVID-19 pandemic. Almost $30,000 went to the Lewis Board of Public Works, $60,000 to Family Promise, and $460,000 to the Lewis Fire Department, who already spent all of it, and $200,000 to Milford Housing. The city of Lewis says there's over $350,000 left. Some ideas are using that to fix potholes, access to public water in lobby of City Hall, and clean up beaches.
In political news, the Senate failed to pass the Right to IVF Act on Tuesday. It was the second time in 4 months that Senate Democrats forced a vote on the Right to IVF Act, which was again blocked by Republicans. The vote failed 51-44, falling short of the 60 it would have needed to pass. The bill would establish broad protections and nationwide rights for individuals to access IVF treatments and allow health providers to offer those services. Republicans called the bill unnecessary and politically motivated, while Vice President Kamala Harris attempts to make access to IVF a 2024 campaign issue. We've got more news to get into this evening.
Still to come, Queen of the Billionaires. Find out who has reclaimed the crown as the world's richest woman.
And seeking justice, that's what the families of the men killed in the Baltimore Bridge collapse are doing, and now they've lawyered it up.
And we take a look at our coastal flood advisory. It's in effect for Sussex until 1 o'clock. And we have flood concerns in Dorchester, Somerset, and Wacomico, which includes Salisbury, Bucktown, all the way over towards Colburn. Your full forecast coming up in 60 seconds.
We're clearing out inventory with big store-wide discounts. Get to Johnny Janosic now and get up to 70% off store-wide, plus no interest for up to 5 years with no down payment and no minimum purchase. For a limited time only at Johnny Janosic.
Excitement comes standard with the Honda Accord, and so does a turbocharged engine. Sophisticated, high-tech, style that enhances functionality. Stand out with the Honda Accord. From Honda, the most awarded brand in Car and Driver 10 Best history. Contact your Honda dealer today or shop online.
We're clearing out inventory with big store-wide discounts. Get to Johnny Janosic now and get up to 70% off store-wide, plus no interest for up to 5 years with no down payment and no minimum purchase. For a limited time only at Johnny Janosic.
Our concern with gusty winds and the possibility of flooding and the rain that's falling all ties into our concern with the medical debris that's now washing upon our shores, and still a mystery as to where that's coming from. But what Mother Nature is offering tonight is not going to make that situation any better. Our Irish Eyes camera in Lewis, we're at 71 degrees, and for tonight, we'll look for the rain to continue throughout the morning hours. And in fact, you'll notice a few drops here and a thicker amount of drops here, indicating we're looking for an increase in the intensity of the showers throughout the rest of the night going into the early morning hours. The wind gusts are pushing out of the northwest, ranging between 9 to 27 mile per hour gusts at this time. All of this pushing a little more in the way of water our way, and that's going to affect the waves. And we're going to take a detailed look at the wave forecast because that's part of the tapestry of this story. Coastal flood advisory is in effect for all of Sussex, meaning we're watching out for about a foot of inundation along the coast and throughout inland areas. Not only there in Sussex, but also for Dorchester, Somerset, Wacomico, which is basically the rest of the Delmarva Peninsula until 8 o'clock on Wednesday. Now, of course, you add into the fact that we have scattered showers now moving from the south to the north, and we're picking up a few yellows here, which indicates some heavier showers and some embedded thunderstorms, all a part of the mix. We're also concerned about beach erosion. A beach hazard statement is now active for Worcester County in effect until 8 o'clock Wednesday evening, which is indicative of possibility of problems in Ocean City with the rain coming from aloft and the push of water coming from the shore. Coastal flood advisory reaches all the way down towards Chincoteague and Wishart as well. Here's a wider view of that rain as it's pushing from the south to the north, and we see heavier or darker greens indicating some heavier showers as a result of that. Now you add into that mix very gusty winds because this small craft advisory is in effect until Thursday morning, meaning we're talking about 25-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So think about how many layers we have in concern with what's going on along the beach, and that was without being concerned with the waste that's brushing upon it as well. So that makes for a messy situation. And why? This low pressure system that's been deepening and has been hovering over portions of North Carolina, it's a wide swath and a deepening low that's swinging on the east side of that low, those scattered showers that we're seeing here, and this is more the stronger side of that low anyway. So we have the winds that are adding to the misery there, but let's take a detailed look at those waves. You see, at Wednesday morning, we're looking for maybe about 6-foot waves. That's where this color green comes into play. But then we start seeing the yellows come in, and that's right here, that's about 9 feet. Bottom hills and to the south. And that's why this color code actually means something as to our story on the beaches. But this is the breaking story. It's a subtle thing, but we picked up on it. You see we're at the yellow, as I showed you before, and you see how it's about 10 feet. Watch this. We get a touch of orange here. You see that? That's indicating we could be getting up to 10 to maybe 11, maybe even 12 right in that area. And it's not just once, but it dances through here. Again, you see how it touched and came back? That's also indicating we're looking for a push right in that part. So if there's any debris out there, we're looking for a push to happen for Wednesday as well. We'll wait and see and monitor that for you. 73% chance of rain for us for Wednesday. So we're looking for about 1.5 inches going into Wednesday and Thursday. Going into Friday, we're looking for about 1.5 inches, and that should primarily do it. The winds staying out of the northwest for the most part, but then beginning to swirl a bit. So that makes it a messier situation until we get to Sunday, where it's steadily coming out of the northwest. You see, for Wednesday morning, midnight, we're looking at embedded cells by 2 o'clock in the morning. We get a brief break, and then it breaks off, but then we'll see hit and miss spotty showers that will continue to dance across the region in general as a result of this system pushing through. So, as a recap, rain and wind, heavy at times, and 68 for tonight. Tomorrow, 74, scattered tropical-like showers and 74, mostly cloudy and more showers on Thursday. Even though it's not heavy, it's steady, and that's problematic too with the threat of flooding. We are still under a yellow alert day for Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, the rain lingers, but by the weekend, we may finally catch our breath, Christina.
Paul, thank you. New at 11, relatives of the victims of the fatal Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse are taking legal action. On Tuesday, 3 of the families say they want the ship company responsible for the accident to be held accountable. The deadly collapse happened in Baltimore on March 26th. According to the National Transportation Safety Board, the Dolly container ship lost power before hitting the bridge. 6 construction workers who were working on the bridge at the time died. The families say they plan to file a court notice before the end of the month.
We ask for justice because no corporation, no amount of lobbying, no legal loophole should ever be able to erase the value of a human life.
Still to come, pregnancy brain. Women have long talked about it, but now there's some new research to back up the claim that having a child impacts your gray matter.
And up next, making Instagram safer for kids. The new rules that the social media app is rolling out to protect the young.
The bold, creamy smoothness of Hardee's new cold brew coffee with the made-from-scratch goodness of Hardee's famous breakfast. A delicious new way to power your morning. Hardee's, goodness in the making.
The excellence of driving a Buick is matched by the excellence of the dealership experience when you own a Buick. Buick, exceptional by design.
Get 0.9% APR. Plus, current eligible non-GM owners get $3,000 purchase allowance on this 2024 Encore GX. That's 10% below MSRP.
Mediacom Mobile. You'll love the service and the savings. Unbeatable nationwide coverage. Unlimited data. Unbelievably affordable. Switch and save 30% or more over the top 3 mobile providers. Get unlimited mobile for just $40 per line per month. Bam. No hidden fees, no contracts. Switching is cake. Keep your phone, keep your number, everything you love, except the big bill. Mediacom Mobile. Call or shop online.
At the Delmarva Design Center, appliances, cabinetry, countertops, tile, and flooring come together in one showroom. We have specialists in each division like myself in cabinetry to ensure that you have the best product to fit your needs. And your selection fits seamlessly with every element of your project.
It was very important to find somebody that was knowledgeable in the whole picture, the cabinetry, the appliances, and the countertop. We are delighted with the outcome.
Delmarva Design Center. Great design starts with great inspiration. Selbyville, Delaware.
The greatest meal deal for your buck? Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Loaded with your choice of 2 full-size favorites, plus fries and a drink. All for just $6.99. Hardee's, goodness in the making.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
Instagram is making some big changes aimed to protect young users on its platform. Tuesday, the social media platform announced new teen account settings that will take effect starting next week. Accounts for users under age 18 will automatically be set to private and placed in the strictest messaging settings. Only people they're already connected to will be able to send them messages, tag them in photos, or mention them in comments. The new settings will also restrict what kinds of content they can view on the app, amongst other changes. The changes come nearly 3 years after Instagram's parent company, Meta, first came under fire about the risk its social media platforms pose for young users.
It's good to be queen. Walmart heiress Alice Walton has reclaimed her previous status as the world's richest woman. The 74-year-old Walton is the daughter of the late Walmart founder Sam Walton. She returned to the top of Forbes' World's Wealthiest Woman list on September 4th. Her fortune estimated at $89.1 billion. She temporarily lost her title to L'Oreal heiress Francois Bettencourt Myers, although Myers still doing pretty well at $88.4 billion.
Well, here's something that moms know and scientists can now finally confirm. The transition to motherhood affects nearly every part of the brain, according to a new study researchers published the study on Monday in Nature Neuroscience. Scientists observed neuroscientist Liz Crashall's brain to see how it changed while she was pregnant, marking the first detailed map of a woman's brain throughout gestation. Scans also showed more than 80% of the brain regions studied had reductions in the volume of gray matter, which is where thinking takes place. That's an average of about 4% of the brain. And that may sound bad, but researchers said it likely reflects the fine-tuning of networks of interconnected nerve cells called neural circuits to prepare for a new phase of life.
Coming up in sports, the reigning state champs on the volleyball court return home to face a familiar foe. Smyrna and Caesar Rodney go on bump set spike.
And woof, woof, these once neglected dogs are barking with excitement. How you could bring home one as soon as tomorrow.
Right now, we're tracking some embedded cells moving from the south to the north in our area, powered by this low pressure system and dragging a pendulum effect with additional showers that add problems with our flooding, our small craft advisory, and the possibility of our beach erosion.
We're Coast Country, and we're Delmarva proud.
On Coast Life, see how a brunch event is making a difference in the fight to end senior hunger. Plus, the latest on Grand Giving Week to help local charities. And cozy up with the season's best fall spices and teas. Tomorrow at 4 on Coast TV.
With Chevy trucks, be ready for adventure. With power you can count on. Capability that doesn't compromise. A hard-working EV with more range than any competitor. And the potential to take you anywhere. Get 0% financing on this 2024 Silverado when you finance with GM Financial. Or current Chevy owners can get $6,500 total value. That's 12% below MSRP. See your Delmarva Chevy dealers.
I'm Mark Stevens from Hartley, Delaware, and I utilize the USDA's Wetland Reserve Easement Program to improve wildlife habitat for deer, waterfowl, and other wildlife while improving water quality. If you have at least 10 acres of woods or wet, unproductive cropland, you may be eligible for compensation to restore and protect the wetlands on your property. To learn more about the Wetland Reserve Easement Program, contact your local USDA Service Center.
Feel the rush of adventure and the thrill of incredible savings at Gateway Subaru. Save up to $2,700 on a new 2025 Subaru Outback with financing rates as low as 1.9% for 48 months. Or save up to $2,400 off a new 2024 Subaru Crosstrek with financing rates as low as 1.9% for 48 months. And be among the first to drive the all-new 2025 Subaru Forester. Stop in and reserve yours today. Gateway Subaru, just minutes from the beaches in the heart of Delmarva. Higher standards.
Foul odors, discolored water. Are you running out of hot water more quickly? These are all signs of sediment buildup in your water heater. And as the buildup becomes more severe, it can even cause a premature tank failure. Flushing the tank periodically can prevent these problems. FH Fur has you covered. Get a water heater flush for $49. That's right, a complete water heater flush for only $49. Act now and get a plumbing inspection free.
877-CALL-FUR. FHFur.com.
Get the Coast TV News app, the latest and most up-to-date stories for your coastal community. Coastal news customized to your needs. Download the Coast TV News app on your Apple or Android devices. Coast TV, our community, your news.
Some of our viewers will remember the story of 20 dogs rescued from neglect in Bridgeville back in August. Well, we have an update on some of those good dogs. The very pregnant Coco, along with 4 big dogs, Axel, Buddy, Lola, and Drake, have now recovered. Coco has had her puppies, and the 4 lab mixes have gotten much needed care for mange, skin issues, parasitic infections. Good news is tomorrow the big dogs are going to be up for adoption at the Animal Rescue Center in Georgetown. Coco and her pups, they still need another month before they're ready for a forever home, but all in all, it's good news for these 4-legged friends.
Well, it's been deemed a significant public health issue.
The U.S. Surgeon General says parents are overwhelmed, burned out with the dizzying pace of the world.
And while he's calling for shifts in policy and cultural norms, mental health experts say there are also ways to navigate all of those feelings.
In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has some ideas about how to cope with parental stress.
Being a parent isn't always easy.
No. Finally, this is a topic that's receiving the attention that it deserves and is long overdue.
Psychologist Adam Borland with Cleveland Clinic says parents today are navigating stressors that they didn't grow up with, including things like social media, 24-hour news cycles, internet safety, school safety, the COVID-19 pandemic. It can all feel a little overwhelming.
I think it comes down to a sense of acceptance, the fact that I am feeling this way. It's not a weakness. It's the reality of the situation that I find myself in.
Borland says parents can cope by prioritizing teamwork. That includes asking and receiving help from a spouse, family member, or the community. And focusing on gratitude can help remind you of the good things in life and your wins as a parent.
It's very easy to negatively compare yourself to others without recognizing, I'm doing a really good job here.
Borland says to also find a healthy balance between things at home and other stressors that exist outside of it. Part of that also includes making time for yourself. He says self-care is not selfish.
It's the idea of carving out that time and recognizing that I'm going to be a better parent, I'm going to be a better partner, I'm going to be a better family member by attending to my self-care.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
The reigning champions of Delaware volleyball took the courts again tonight against a familiar foe. At Smyrna High School, the state champion Eagles hosted the Caesar Rodney Riders, a rematch of last season's state semifinal. And early on, it was trending the same way as 2023 Ella Pleasanton doing it with defense, and the volleyball gods drop it in for a point. Great effort from the senior. Later in the set, Madison Pierce wastes no time with an ace to clinch it. Smyrna ahead 1-0. On to the second. Eagles offense is in full swing. They go tick, tack, and toe. Brooke Burge blows one by the Riders for the kill. She leads this group in kills in 2024. Now, on another set point, Kate Slaney bumps it over and gets the job done, putting Smyrna ahead 2-0. Now, on to the third, a tight one, 21 all. Hannah Neal pours in a crucial point as the Eagles go on to win the final set 25-22 and win the match in a sweep. It's the second sweep of the year for the Eagles, who improved to 2-2. Next up, they host Caravel Academy on Thursday, trying to get over 500. And make sure to subscribe to DSN Plus so you don't miss action like the thriller we had for you tonight. That'll do it for sports. Have a great night, everyone.
The UV Index Weather Report is sponsored by Ocean City Tourism. Somewhere to smile about.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra, available with the connected driving experience and the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Get 0% APR on 2024 Sierra 1500 Denali models. That's over $6,400 in average finance savings. We are professional grade GMC.
When choosing windows and doors for your home, at Pella, it's your choice. We manufacture maintenance-free vinyl, fiberglass, and wood-clad windows and patio doors, all with lifetime warranties. High performance, energy efficient, and loaded with options to help make your house your home. Industry-first features and benefits make living easier and increase your home's value. Visit our Experience Center or call us today to schedule your free in-home consultation, where we bring the showroom to you.
Pets are cute. Until they're not. Forgive your best friend. It's not clean until it's Stanley Steamer Clean.
A legacy is earned with generations of proven reliability, standing tall through the test of time, leading, innovating to build the best vehicles with the best value. Because the greatest memories begin with the journey.
This is my legacy.
Toyota, let's go places.
Hi, I'm Joel Wharton, Sussex County farmer. Don't wait until after harvest to plant your cover crops. Consider broadcasting or interseeding cover crops into your standing cash crop. Early establishment provides more growth potential and more soil armor over winter. It also saves time because after harvest, the cover crop is already growing and protecting the soil, cycling nutrients, and preventing erosion. To learn more about the benefits and ways to establish cover crops early, contact the Sussex Conservation District because every acre counts.
Well, the torrential downpours have arrived, sticking around all night long, all morning long. This is courtesy of our Spicer Brothers camera in Salisbury, so we can barely see from the heavy showers it's hitting right now. We're continuing to see that, and temperatures will stay in the 70s, watching out for a flash of lightning, so it's going to become more intense throughout the overnight. Here's a view of that same rain as it's moving from the south to the north. Widespread flood concerns for us throughout Sussex County. Now, as far as the UV index is concerned, courtesy of our Ocean City sponsorship, we're going to be on the low side for the next few days in a row till we get to Sunday, where it's going to go up a little bit higher. Our umbrella winner, and very handy and needed for this week, Teresa Carini of Frederica, Delaware, courtesy of Paul Davis. Keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line, sponsored by the Baird, Mandalas, Brockstead, and Federico. And finally, here's a look at your Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodel exclusive 10-day forecast. We are under a yellow alert day for Wednesday.
Thank you, Paul, and thank you for joining us for Coast TV News at 11. For more news, more local weather, hey, download that Coast TV News app.
The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is up next, and we hope to see you tomorrow for Coast TV News at 5 a.m. Have a great night.